Good morning. This is a reflection on lesson 228 in A Course in Miracles that says, the language is whatever. God has condemned me not, no more do I. So, actually, I think it said, like, my Father has condemned me not, no more do I. So, God has condemned me not. So, God doesn't condemn me, so I'm not going to either. Okay, they could have just said that, but that's okay. So, this one, it's kind of just building on the other, like the last two or three, of course, where it's like recognizing our true nature and kind of getting over this perpetual loop of like self-condemnment, where we get down on ourselves for things we thought, said, done, whatever. And actually that makes us feel even worse, and that keeps us kind of like in that, trapped in a loop, really. And so yesterday, it's like the more we condemn ourselves, the worse we feel. So the more we want to condemn ourselves, the worse we feel. So that kind of loop. And this didn't even talk about this, but this is what it made me think of. And then yesterday I ended with, like, for me personally, when I've tried to break that loop, it actually took me giving myself love and grace, like self-love. And even telling myself, like I still went through the grieving process of if I hurt other people. So I still felt that, went through it, did that work, really questioned how I got there, what led me to those decisions. So I did all the work. I didn't just bypass it. And then kind of tell myself, well, that was before I knew who I really was underneath it all. That was while I was still trapped in the illusion of the self, the ego self. And then that led to even more work around that. So I had to start with a little bit of grace, a little bit of tenderness toward myself, and then building into self-love, building up self-worth to really break that cycle. That was for me personally. And so this is similar to that, or building onto that, saying, okay, well then I'm not going to condemn myself anymore. God doesn't. God knows who we are. That's why I think there's something in the Bible that says, forgive them for they know not what they do, something like that. Because we really don't, when we're still trapped in the illusion and we haven't had a shift in identity to say, wait a minute, I am more than this. There's something eternal about me that is never tarnished. It's always there. And that might take a while to tap into that, and that's fine, but it's the truth. It can happen for everybody. It's there for everybody. So, yeah. So even if it starts with that, like a little bit of forgiveness for yourself to break down that wall of shame, just a little bit, just to break a brick or two out of it so some light can come through with that tenderness, grace, and like stop condemning ourselves. Because we were trapped in illusion. We were trapped in the darkness and couldn't see through. And we just kept perpetuating darkness. So then, breaking through that, it's like then going through all the work, shadow work, grief, you have like, what do you call that? Remorse for what you've done, said, believed, thought, whatever, acted. Then it's like, now I can see that I can make better choices, different choices. And then you stop condemning yourself. Once you go through that process and truly feel the feelings, not bypass. And then you do stop condemning, little by little. Or you like for me personally, when I have condemned myself, like really shamed myself, gotten down on myself for something I did, said, or thought, or whatever, I catch it sooner now. Like, I'll be like, don't get caught in that loop. Get to the source of why you made that decision. Work it. Let it go. Move on. Say your sorries faster, whatever it is, to get through that loop faster so you don't get stuck in that loop. So, because the loop is just a self-shame cycle that does nobody any good. If you're doing the work, you already feel the shame. You already feel the remorse for hurting another human being, right? If you don't feel that, then there's other layers to peel back first, because that stuff's waiting there underneath. Remember the other day when it was like, shame is patient. It's going to wait for you. It's just waiting for you to peel back maybe a couple more layers, and then it's going to go, hi, I'm still here. So it's there waiting. If you don't feel it, or like, I have nothing to be ashamed about, well, there's some ego there on top. That whole expression right there was all ego, right? There's a few layers left before you get down to it. Shame is there always underneath. Because like there's some basic human shame even just that comes along with it that we work through too, and that's fine. There's something for everybody waiting there. And it's good to feel it. Feel it. We can only work through it by feeling it. Feel our way through it. So anyway, that's what this lesson made me think of. Stopping that shame, self-condemning cycle through doing the work. Don't bypass it, but it might take giving a little grace, forgiveness for self first. To just stop and reflect. Stop the cycle and then do the work. So anyway, that's all. Here's the morning sunrise-ish. I think there were a lot of storms, so we have a lot of clouds. See?